Hi, everyone. It's Professor Lynn Mandziuk here again today, and we are going to talk about semiotics. That's right, we're going to talk about signs, symbols, and semiotics, which is really just a fancy way of saying how meaning is made visually. This is one of the most important ideas in graphic design, branding, advertising, UX, UI design, and visual culture. You already use semiotics every single day, whether you realize it or not. Why signs and symbols matter? Well, as humans, we are constantly interpreting imagery. When you're driving, you rely on road signs. When you're in a grocery store, you recognize brands instantly. When you're on a website or app, icons tell you where to click without using words. So, as designers, we use iconography and symbols to communicate ideas quickly, guide behavior, represent values, and create emotional associations. So, what is semiotics? Semiotics is a study of signs, symbols, and signification as communicative behavior. It looks at how meaning is constructed, not just what something looks like. Semiotics connects to linguistics, psychology, culture, and design. We're not just asking what a symbol means, but how it got that meaning, why we agree on it, and how it functions in society. We're going to talk a little bit about the signifier and the signified. At the core of semiotics are two key ideas. The signifier, this is the form the sign takes, a word, an image, a color, a shape, and the signified. This is the concept or meaning the sign refers to. For example, a heart is the signifier, it signifies love. A cross signifies religion or Christianity. A stop sign signifies halt, danger, do not proceed. The sign itself is made up of both parts together. This idea comes from linguist Ferdinand de Saussure, who argued that signs are psychological constructs. We agree on their meaning through shared culture. Now we're going to talk a little bit about color as a sign system. So color is one of the most powerful signifiers in design. Let's look at a few examples. We'll start with green. This is kind of a gimme. Green often signifies nature, eco-friendliness, growth, the environment, but it can also signify money, wealth, or banking. Those dollar bills, right? Pink stereotypically could signify femininity, youth, softness, baby culture. More recently in the trends, Barbie culture. Am I right? But these meanings are cultural, not universal, which leads us to an important point. Cultural context matters, okay? Sign does not mean the same thing everywhere. For example, in Western culture, white often signifies purity, innocence, and weddings. The bride always wears white. In many Asian colors, white signifies mourning and death, and that's actually what the deceased will wear at their memorial. Same color, completely different meaning. And this is why designers must always consider audience and culture. Now we're going to talk a little bit about denotation versus connotation. This is a critical distinction. So, denotation is the literal surface meaning of a sign. Connotation is the emotional, cultural, or symbolic meaning beneath the surface. For example, an image, as we have here, may denote car keys. But if those keys are arranged in the shape of a gun, the connotation becomes violence, danger, or threat. Designers use connotation to guide interpretation, often subtly. Semiotics in art history. So, semiotics isn't just modern, it's historical. And many classical paintings use symbolism to communicate ideas that couldn't be stated openly. Take the Last Supper, for example. It denotes a dinner between Jesus and his apostles. It connotes betrayal, tension, and emotional upheaval. Each figure's gesture, posture, and placement adds meaning beyond the literal sense. Next, we have types of signs. So, not all signs function the same way. First, we have arbitrary signs. These have meanings we've collectively agreed on: the Nike swoosh, the Apple symbol, national flags. Next, we have iconic signs. These visually resemble what they represent: restroom signs, wheelchair accessibility icons, the email symbol. After that, we have indexical signs. These point to something else, typically something that's not as easy to convey in an icon form. Smoke, indicating fire. Tears, indicating sadness. Understanding these categories helps you design more intentionally. Why does this matter to designers? Well, semiotics teaches you to control interpretation, design with intention, avoid accidental messaging, and understand why something works or doesn't. In this course and assignment, you'll apply these ideas through icon systems, branding, visual storytelling, and symbolic imagery. The key takeaway is design is never neutral, okay? Everything signifies something. We are humans, we try to make meaning out of things, and we as designers try to create something that engages a specific meaning. Your job as a designer is to decide what you're saying, how you're saying it, and who you're saying it to. Once you understand semiotics, you can stop guessing and start communicating.